I can't stop checking out more and more of these Milwaukee M12 tools, and there's a reason for that. These are high quality, powerful tools with a smaller footprint. And today I added a new tool that I'm a little bit skeptical about, the M12 Circular Saw. So let's dive into it and see if it lives up to its reputation. So I always thought Milwaukee was a brand out of my league with higher prices that I just couldn't afford, but this Milwaukee M12 fuel system changes all that. But it turns out this M12 fuel lineup is quite affordable, with many of the products being about the same price as some of Ryobi's tools. And I haven't regretted any of these red tools I've purchased, as they're just as powerful as some of the 18-volt tools. You know, all this talk about red tools reminds me of the old song Red Red Wine. If you were 8 when that song came out, you'd be 40 now. So let's not waste any more time and dive into my latest addition to my M12 fuel lineup. This is the M12 Circular Saw. Let's give it a look. And using the M12 system, there's a couple of different batteries you can get. You can get the big dogs like this one, or simply use the slender ones like I have. Now the larger ones typically have more amp hours and have a longer runtime, but I like the slender design of the small ones, as I'd rather have the smaller footprint of the tool and buy multiple batteries and then just switch them out as I need. And because of this, we're going to take a look at how this circular saw performs with these 1.5 to 2 amp hour batteries. So let's dive into this box and see what comes with this set. Now right off the bat, I'm loving it, as there doesn't appear to be a whole lot of pieces to this set. In fact, there's really only 3 pieces. There's the circular saw itself, a dust collection chute, and a framing blade. Now if we compare the size of this circular saw to my only other cordless circular saw, my Ryobi, you can see that this one's substantially smaller. And that Milwaukee is a full-size circular saw with a 7.25 inch blade, while this Milwaukee only has a 5 3/8, which is obviously going to give this saw some cutting limitations, but we'll get into that in just a moment. Let's first get this saw assembled. Let's first get that blade installed. After we unwrap the blade, it brings us to our first nice feature of this saw, and that's the fact that it does have onboard storage for a hex key to change out the blade. To install the blade, we're first going to want to find the spindle lock, which is located on the very front of the tool. With that spindle lock depressed, we can then take the hex key and remove the arbor by rotating the hex key in the clockwise direction. Then it's just a matter of sliding the blade in and tightening it down with the hex key, rotating it in the counterclockwise direction, making sure that your spindle lock is depressed. With the blade now installed, we can now install the dust collection chute. And you can actually do this in 2 different ways, a temporary fashion or a permanent one. If you just want to temporarily add this, you simply click it into place. But I want to permanently add this, so I'll simply take the screw and lock it into place. And just like that, we now have this thing fully assembled. Now let's take a look at the physical features of this tool. Let's start off at the top by taking a look at the handle. The first thing that you'll notice is it actually has 2 handles, a front handle as well as a pistol grip handle in the back. Not only is this setup very comfortable with its rubber grip, but it's also going to give you complete control of this tool. If we look right behind the front handle, you'll find the fuel gauge. After putting a battery in this tool, you'll be able to tell the battery charge. And the back handle is the control center with 2 buttons associated with it. First, you'll find the lock-off handle, which is on either side of the handle, giving you the ability to cut either with your right or your left hand. And it's this button that locks the tool until it's depressed. Once it's depressed, you can use the trigger, which is located right below it, to operate the tool. On the very front of the saw, you're going to find your sight lines, which will help guide you as you're making your cuts. And the foot of this tool really gives you a lot of surface to work with its 4.5 by 9.5 inch footprint. If we continue on to the front of the saw, you're also going to notice a couple of knobs. Let's take a look at what those do. Now, although it doesn't come with one, the first knob is for a parallel guide. You simply insert it into the hole and tighten it down with a knob on top. The second knob, which is on front, is for miter cuts, and it has a pretty extensive range going from 0 to 50 degrees. Simply take the knob and loosen it, find your angle, and lock it back into place. And once you're ready to return to 90, it really is a breeze, as it's got a locking foot and back to make sure that you're stabilized. On the left-hand side of the tool, you're going to find the guard lever. This allows you to easily raise and lower that blade guard. And the final knob on this saw, which is on the right-hand side, is to adjust the blade depth. By pushing this lever up, the foot of the saw can be moved up or down. And if we look at the back of the saw, you can see there's a gauge readout to tell you your depth. And this goes from 0 to over 1.5 inches. But let's take a tape measure and see what its deepest depth setting actually is. And I'm getting a hair just over 1.5 inches, which should be enough to get you through a 2x4. And finally, there's one last physical feature that I want to show you before we do some cutting. Let's take a look at the right-hand side of the tool. What we have on the back of this saw is called a raptor hook. This is perfect for hanging on a 2x4 as you're doing your work, giving you a safe and easy storage solution for your saw when you're in the middle of your project. Well, that's enough about the physical features of this saw. Let's put a battery in this thing and get to some cutting. With that battery in place, I first want to talk about a couple of unique features. First off is the almost instantaneous brake on this tool. If I release the trigger on this saw, you'll notice that the blade almost instantaneously stops, which is a heck of a lot quicker and safer than my Ryobi, which spins for a bit. The next pretty cool feature about this saw is the blower. Ha! Blower? I barely know her! This blower is intended to blow away all that sawdust away from your cut line. And you can see as I cut through this plywood, you can see how clean that cut line is, allowing you to easily see exactly where you're making your cuts. Now let's take this saw, set the bevel to 45 degrees, and do a test cut with that. And I'll have to say, as I'm making this cut, it runs very smoothly. I'm not having to put any pressure on the saw at all. And the results really do speak for themselves. A nice clean cut at 45 running down the entire piece of plywood. And I'm actually pretty amazed at how accurate this is when I put my digital angle finder right on top. Now let's test out the saw's dust collection. Let's first do a cut without dust collection. So I'll make this first cut and take the two pieces of wood with the sawdust on top and place it onto my table. And here you can see we've got quite a bit of dust resting right upon that cut line. Now let's try it with dust collection, and in this case I'll be using a Festool dust collector. And although the dust collection didn't pick up all the sawdust, you can see the remarkable difference between using a dust collector and not using one. And there's one last test that I want to do. Let's take a look at the box. If we look at the box, you see it says up to 190 cuts on a 2x4 per charge. Now I don't have one of Milwaukee's larger M12 batteries, but I do have a 2 amp hour battery that's fully charged. And if I put it in the saw, you can see it has 4 bars letting me know it's fully charged. So I'm going to take my speed square and take it over to a 2x4 and see how many slices I can get off that 2x4. I'll have to say, as I'm cutting this, the saw feels just as powerful as the first cut until the very end. But the end did come, and as you can see, I've got quite a few chips here on the floor. So let me pick them up and count them and see how many cuts we got. And the final tally was 56 cuts, which is pretty impressive for one of their smaller 2 amp hour batteries. Well, I'm pretty impressed, and I had a lot of fun showing you this Milwaukee M12 Circular Saw. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, and share this video, as it truly does help out this woodworking channel. Also, if you're not familiar with it, check out my website, FlynnDoggWoodwork.com. There you can find all sorts of fun woodworking accessories like all the t-shirts that I wear in my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel further, check out my channel memberships in the description below. There you get early access to all my videos, as well as one member video a week. Until next time, take care as always. Let's get it, folks. How do you check the weight of a red hot chili pepper? Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Come on. Yeah. Let's give this one a try. You know, some thieves broke into my garage the other day and stole 15 cases of Red Bull. I don't know how they sleep at night. Come on. Yes. All right, let's try it. You know, a kid came to my house dressed all in red a week after Halloween and rang the doorbell. I said Halloween was last week. He said, I know, I'm dressed as a period. Sorry I'm late. Come on.